Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, dear students. How are you? I hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also well. Today, I will present an important chapter of English second paper. Let's go. We start our class. This is my information. I am Muhammad Salauddin, Assistant Teacher, Chandra, Imam High School and College. We are discussing about transformation of sentence of its topic. It is for the students of class 6 to 10. Okay, dear students, subject identity, English second paper. This is all the students of class 6 to 10, and the subject of today our subject is transformation of sentence. Though we saw the transformation of sentence, but it is a large subject, so we discuss only topics of transformation of sentence. Look at the picture. You see two persons in the picture. One is very tall, other is very small. Are you understand what is the difference between two persons? I hope you can understand. Here there are difference between both person. One is very tall and other is very small. Here we see we see in both of person their heightness. Here we compare their heightness, tall. One is tall and another is taller. That means we can realize both a person that their tallness. Okay, students, you can understand. Today we will discuss about degree. Degree is very easy subject of transformation of sentence, so we can discuss about it. By the end of the lesson, students, you will be able to define adjective, find out adjective, say the classification of degree, make the sentence, mark the sentence, tell the rules of different degree, and lastly able to change degree. Okay, students, adjective. I hope you already know about adjective because it also learned your previous class. Just I present some example of adjective such as good, fine, more beautiful, worse, taller, biggest. These are adjective. Definition of degree. The comparison of adjective is called degree. On the other hand, we can say if anyone compares with any adjective, this is called degree. Here I present three examples. Firstly, we see that a guard she is beautiful girl. But in the second picture we see she is more beautiful than that girl. That means this girl is this girl is more beautiful than that girl. Here we see in the first of sentence we do not compare other, but second sentence we compare between two person. And thirdly we see she is most beautiful than she is most beautiful of all girl. Here we compares of all. So we can understand compare is three kinds. Where we find it? When we see the form of adjective such as beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. In those sentences we see this is change their form. So we can say adjective, that the form of adjective is three kinds. We also know similarly degree is divided into three kinds such as positive, comparative and superlative. And similarly adjective is three kinds: positive, comparative, superlative. When we see in a sentence adjective, the form of adjective is positive, we can say this is the positive degree or positive sentence. And when we see adjective, when we see the form of adjective is comparative, then we can say the sentence is comparative degree. And when we find the superlative form of adjective, then we can say this is the superlative degree or superlative sentence. Okay student, in this examination, or we have in the examination we have to face some sentence to change positive sorry I ask some question you. What is adjective? I hope you can give me answer. What is the definition of degree? How many kinds of degree? I hope you can easily write this answer or can say what is adjective? Adjective is a word which modify the noun or pronoun. And what is the definition of degree? We also learned the comparison of adjective is called degree. And how many kinds of degree? Degree is three kinds. Okay. Form of adjective. We also learned about it. Form of adjective is three kinds: positive, comparative, superlative. For remember, I present it and I use in the structure of degree. Positive, we use A1 for it, and comparative we use A2 for it, and for the superlative form we use A3. And you know some of the adjective will be fully changed to make comparative or superlative sentence, and some of the adjective will some of the adjective will be added at the end of the word er or est to make comparative form or superlative form. And some of the adjective we see to make comparative or superlative form adding in front of more or less and most or least prefix. Okay, dear students, and most of the adjective are same, tail, tall, taller, tallest, and most of the adjective are maximum adjective are same to make comparative or superlative from by adding er or est. Students, let's we see next. We have to change positive to comparative or superlative, comparative to positive or superlative, superlative to positive or comparative. In your exam, you have to face similarly. So, you do not or you should not learn many rules. You only can acquire or only can learn about the structure of positive sentence, comparative sentence, and superlative sentence. Then you can sense all. So, we see the structure of positive sentence. Here, this is no other or very few plus object plus verb plus as, so or as plus a1, that means a positive form of adjective, plus as plus subject. For example, no other girl in the class is as good as Rabia. Here, I wrote the sentence according to the structure of positive sentence. Remember that, student, please, you can take a snap of it or you can write this. You have to memorize the structure of positive sentence. Okay? Then you can easily change. And secondly, the structure of comparative sentence, subject plus verb plus a2, that means comparative form of adjective, then any other or then most other plus object. For example, Rabia is better than any other girl in the class. Thirdly, we see the structure of superlative sentence, subject plus verb plus the or one of the plus a3 and plus object. According to the structure, I wrote an example. Rabia is the best girl in the class. So, basic structure of 3 kinds of degree we have to learn, and then you can change it easily. Students, you have to follow some note. In positive sentence, we use no other or very few, such as when we see in the positive sentence no other, to make comparative it we use then any other or all other for it, and to make superlative we use the for it. And if we see in the positive degree very few, for it we use then most other to change comparative, and for superlative we use one of the, and many other rules. I just present 2 things. This is a vital rule. Do the example. no other boy in the class is as good as Shahadat. Here we have to change into comparative. Students, are you understand what is the degree of the sentence? I hope you can understand this is positive degree because in the beginning we see no other, no other, and secondly you can easily understand it where you see the positive form of adjective. Here we see good is the positive form of adjective. So this is positive and we can change it comparative or superlative. So first of all we change it into comparative sentence. You know the structure of comparative is subject plus verb plus A2 plus then any other or most other and then object. According to the structure we make it. We know here in this sentence here we see the subject is Shahadat because we already saw that the structure of positive degree and there we can learn subject subject is at last. So Shahadat is subject. Here we when we change it into comparative sentence we first of all will write subject Shahadat and secondly we write verb is because there is verb is and thirdly we change A2 to A1 to A2 that means present positive form to comparative form. Good is positive form and better is comparative form and then we write then any other because we know when we see no other in the positive sentence we write it for it then any other and then object is boy in the class and we already wrote it boy in the class boy in the class. Okay, and then we make it superlative. According to the structure of superlative we write the example. First of all we have to write subject. Here subject is Shahadat, verb is here verb is and the or one of the we wrote the because here we see no other. If we saw here very few we wrote for it one of the. Understand? So we write the and then A3 is best and then object is boy in the class. Boy in the class. So students, I hope you can understand this example how to change comparative to comparative and superlative from positive. Okay, and let's do the example. Shahadat is better than most other boys in the class. Sorry, boy in the class. Exactly. Here we see Shahadat is subject, verb is better than, better is A2 and then any other or then most other. Here we saw then most other boys in the class, boys in the class is object. So we can easily say that it is comparative sentence because the form of adjective is comparative, so it is comparative degree and we have to change it positive. We know the structure of positive is no other or very few plus object plus verb plus so or as plus A1 plus as plus subject. According to the structure we wrote example. According to the task structure, we change it. First of all, we have to write no other or very few. We wrote very few because here we saw then most other. We already know for then most other we have to write very few, and then we write object. Here object is boys in the class, and then verb. Here verb is, but we have to write are because here boys is plural, so that we write are, and then we have to write so or as. You can write anyone. We write as, and then a1 better will be changed into a1 good, and then as, and lastly we have to write subject. Shahadat is subject. Here we wrote. Okay, students, similarly we change it into superlative, and we already know the structure of superlative degree. So according to the structure, we wrote the example of it. Shahadat is one of the best of all boys in the class. So first of all, we write subject Shahadat, and then verb is, and for then most other we know that for it we have to write one of the, and then we wrote one of the, and second and then we have to write a3. We know the a3 form of better will be changed into best, and then if plural object plural, we wrote of all, and then we wrote object boys in the class. So I hope you can understand. And thirdly, we do this example. Shahadat is one of the best boy in the class. You can easily understand this is the superlative degree because best is the superlative form of adjective, and we can easily say this is a superlative degree. We have to change it into positive degree, and we know already the form structure of positive degree. No other are very few plus object plus verb plus as, also plus a1 plus as plus subject. According to the structure, we wrote the example. We have to write no other are very few. We wrote very few because here we see one of the. For one of the we have to write very few, or if you see here only the, we wrote no other for it. Okay students, then object is boys in the class, and then verb is are, and so or as we wrote as, and then a1 best, a1 is good, and then as or so we write as we wrote this, and subject is Shahadat, and also wrote it. Okay, we can change superlative to positive, and then we change it into comparative degree. It is the structure of comparative degree, and then we make according to the structure. First of all, we have to write subject, then we write subject is Shahadat, and then verb is, and we have to write a2. We know a2 is better, best is superlative form, and better is comparative form, and then we have to write then any other or most other, or then all other. So we wrote then most other because we know for one of the we have to write then most other, and then object was in the class, and lastly we add boys in the class. Okay, students. So I hope you can understand both kinds of changing, and I hope you can change easily. Only you have to memorize the structure of positive, comparative, and superlative degree, and then you can easily change it. So I asked some question. What is degree? I hope, student, you can easily say degree is comparison of adjective. How many kinds of degree? Degree is three kinds. What is superlative form of brilliant? You know, most brilliant. So I hope you can easily give answer of it. I give you some group work, though there is no chance to do it. I skip it, and you have a homework for you. Write the following two form of these adjective. You can take this. You can take a snap or a screenshot of it. Write the other two form of these adjective and says the following sentence of this. Cheering is the biggest sea sport. You have to change into comparative degree, and similarly this. So, thank you. I hope you can understand about degree. Thank you for watching my class. I hope you complete your homework, and after this you can show the homework to your teacher. Thank you very much.